Ooh, today's panic attack and anxiety comes from the fact that last night I skipped my dose of anti-anxiety meds, not on purpose, on accident, and just remembered 30 minutes ago and wondered, hey, I've never actually skipped a dose of that ever since starting it. What the fuck's gonna happen to me? Am I gonna die after surviving 12 hours without the second dose in me? And I just thought, oh my god, I'm gonna die. So in order to assure the fact that something bad would happen from skipping a dose, I freaked out. So that's today's anxiety, today's attack. And I just decided, wow, I really need to talk, I think, and just ramble and rant without interruptions of any kind. And what better way to do that than not to talk to someone, but rather an animal and a screen, well, camera. This right here is Prisma. She is part husky and part something else that I don't know. She is a rescue, and oh my god, why did I rescue her? Because she's a little nutcase. Anyways, it's September of 2025, and too much is happening, and I've tried my very, very best not to focus on it because I have more important things to focus on, like my own well-being. But honey, I just need to get this all into one place because I'm freaking out. So you know what? We start with mental health. Let's get into it. The bill was passed. What bill, you may ask? Well, only the bill that everybody's talking about before the September 2025 rapture of tomorrow, which is going to be on September 23rd. Did you not know that I won't be able to post this? The rapture's tomorrow. And my hair's like this, and the rapture's tomorrow. Crazy. Anyways, the bill was passed that basically gives ICE access to Medicaid records, which essentially gives them access to everybody who is and isn't disabled. And the interesting thing about disabilities, or the disabled, or being disabled, is that everyone is going to be disabled, whether that comes from age or whether that comes from an accident you don't foresee from tomorrow, a bacteria that gets into your brain that unfortunately leaves you with TBI. There's just so many things that we just simply cannot plan for. Car accidents. Hell, maybe you'll have a panic attack, and then that panic attack will lead to more panic attacks. Maybe, I mean, disabilities is such a wide thing. Autism is technically, I believe, a disability. And I just have so many mothers of autistic people that would bludgeon an ICE member if they even tried anything. So it's just why do they need that information? Why did we approve that? Because if we start kicking out the disabled, whether it's you yourself or someone that you love or a coworker or your employee or your, I don't know, your bank teller, there's probably half the people you know is probably disabled in some way, whether it's physically or if it's all in here. It's just, what are you planning to do with that information? Why does ICE need that information? And if you're planning to institutionalize us or put us somewhere, do you think that the mothers of the disabled are going to go down without the fight? Do you think we're going to let you take our vets? Do you think it's just I feel like Americans forget that they're dealing with Americans, right? So there's so many small little ways you can get over on us, up those taxes, everything creeps up in price 5 cents, whatever, right? We see it happening. Fuck you, whatever. I didn't mean to cuss, but you need to tread lightly with what you do with our disabled people, because there's so many of us. There's so many of Americans that are racist, so I guess that's just why. Let me stop there. But it's just, this affects everybody. I'm pretty sure Trump is disabled. Does he not wear a fucking diaper? Did he not like almost have like a stroke or something? I'm pretty sure he's disabled. Anyways, what's my next topic? Oh, okay, so we were political. Let's David with a 4. David with a 4. Now, my heart is breaking in a weird way because I'm not a David fan, but I've heard clips of his music, and if it wasn't for the current climate of David and what he's done, that those snippets would be enough for me to be like, ooh, let me listen to this artist more. This could be a new love. David. Now, what confuses me, because I'm getting information all over the place, is that he was like 16 or something, and then this girl was 11, but they went to the same school. Now, is that information right? They went to the same school? Because, like, in those cases, I kind of understand, like, because, like, at my school, there would be freshmen who would date seniors, and technically that was not okay because of the age gap. But it's like, what do? You tell these two kids that have classes together to back off of each other? You know what I mean? Like, what is the protocol for something like that? Like, how do you go about it? Because no one went about it in my school. It was like freshmen went after seniors. They were 18, 19. They were, what? I don't know the age, but not of age or whatever, because they were above the age of consent and da-da-da. But so, like, if you're 16... and they're 11, like, did you go to like a school? Because you know there's like elementary, middle, high school, and then there's like crayon school where it's like kindergarten all the way up to like seniors. And then still, how would they even mingle? It's like, that's like the only way I could see that even slightly being okay. But then even then I feel like in a situation like that, in a school like that, there has to be a protocol being like, yo, don't mingle with those children, okay? And then this is kind of crazy because I feel like David is the type of character I would write like a really like fucked up villain, because like, so you're telling me you date an underage girl named Celeste, then you have a Celeste cover-up that's of age, and then all the girls in your music videos look like these girls, and then you're just confessing back to back in all of your songs. If he's not guilty, if this really comes out where someone else, you have a cat toy and it's not yours. This is filled with catnip, and it's not for dogs. Come on. Have it. Thank you, I think. If someone else killed David, they have to be related to David or Celeste somehow. It can't just be like a freak serial killer in the area, because there was another impound site that had another dead body, and it's like unrelated, but like the coincidence is kind of shocking. So it's like, okay, maybe there is some kind of weird serial killing thing going on where it's just like their pattern, because you know serial killers, they have like patterns. So what if their pattern is literally to like kill the person, leave them in a trunk, leave them at an impound, let them find it that way, and then like, are the bodies being killed a certain way? But at the same time, there's just no fucking way, because David did it. You know what I mean? Like, David did it. Anyways, that's freaking me out, because it's just like, and then it's the fact that like he streamed and stuff with this girl. The fans were quiet, the family was quiet, every adult in this situation was quiet. And that I can't, And then she was missing for a year, but then the family knew where she was for a year. They knew that she was with David for a year. That's where she was supposedly missing before she was murdered. Okay. But David did it. Like, David did it. I'm looking at my list. Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk. No, I'm not celebrating his death. I think that's fucking demented. I didn't celebrate the health CEO's death either when Luigi shot that man. Honestly, no matter where your stance on with Charlie Kirk is, I really hope you don't support a racist or someone who believes in gun violence to the degree that, you know what, I'm not even going to get into all of his beliefs. What is blowing my mind that no one's truly focusing on is that I think these two things happened in the same year, 2025, or damn near close to it. First, we have a health CEO, which is directly responsible for the death of hundreds, for the unwell-being of hundreds, for the stress of hundreds because of his choices, being shot publicly. And now we have a racist that talks a lot, inspires a lot of people to be awful people. We have Charlie Kirk, who has directly caused the death of no one, but rather spread vile ideas to our youth, being shot. You see the publicly by a civilian. So it's just like you see where things are going. And it's like, I know that there's been things like public shootings, shooting at pride, shooting at parades, shooting at mass gatherings. But it's something about these killings. They're more of a statement. And it just feels like it's screaming to everybody, take matters into your own hands. It's not just, oh, the crazies are going after our children. The crazies are going after the LGBT community. The crazies are going after this, that, and the third, and they're killing innocent people. It's like you have these deaths that harbor the weight of a lot of different beliefs happening, and the scale's going down with them. So it's like, what's next? What's next? The store manager of Starbucks comes in and tell you that you can't get your mocha latte, and they get shot between the eyes. Like, that's what it's feeling like. And it's stressing me out. Okay. Unknown Number on Netflix, that little wonderful documentary about Kendra, and I think her daughter's name's like Lauren. Everybody keeps saying like, oh, I think that she was in love with Owen, or I think that she was jealous of the daughter. It's just, I've seen too many preppy moms that are like this with their daughter, but in a weird kind of toxic way. It screams jealousy. I personally think that that mother wanted to be where her daughter was, and not just like, oh, I wish I had a better childhood. I think she wanted her life, her daughter's life right then and there. She wanted her daughter's life in the most unhealthiest way. I think that she was probably holding all of that in for years, and I bet it did begin in her teen years, her daughter's teen years, where the jealousy grew because she was the it girl, wasn't she? Like, she was like a very it girl. She was one of the quieter ones, but she was successful and one of the it girls. And the mom was right there up in the school, saw all of that, became jealous, swallowed it. But then her daughter became the it girl with the it boyfriend, the it couple, And I think that was the breaking point. I don't think it was anything that she said. I think it was straight up, I'm done because I really like your boyfriend. I really like your life. I think that she is a pedophile. I think that she has a lot more issues to be worked out that her time in jail does not solve. And I don't think anybody's fully grasping the fact that she dead ass lost one of her jobs and I think quit the other and was secretly unemployed for 2 years. The way I would blow my brains if my significant other was unemployed for 1 month, and I found out not by them while I've been working, and not only have they been having the vacation of their life, PTO, not PTO, of their life, they used it to sexually harass and stalk their own kid and their boyfriend, and basically ruined a community and a school in a lot of different ways psychologically. It's like, we gotta sit with that. Unemployed for 2 years, secretly. She didn't just lose her job. She might have even purposely lost her job to have the time and the dedication and the focus to do what she was doing. She was dedicated to doing what she was doing. She was dedicated, and she didn't think that she would be found because she works in IT and da 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 da. She was using all of these different things, but that FBI, honey, feds don't mess around, okay? Now, Trey Reed, all I can say is that people don't lynch themselves. This has been a stressor ever since Dramageddon. People that I look up to, that I have this parasocial trust with, that I see as a source of relief or joy or a way to defocus, they're all crashing down around me. I was a Gabby Hanna fan. When James Charles popped on the scene, I was his fan. Tana Mojo, I was a fan of her story times before I realized that she ain't shit. Shane Dawson, I was a Shane Dawson fan. And with Shane Dawson, I stopped officially consuming his content when I saw the compilation of pedophile videos, and it's just like, I watched those from such a young age all the way into my adulthood, and they're all spread out, you know what I mean? And I remember my brother asking me, like, why would this is the kind of stuff you watch Shane Dawson? And I'm like, yeah, because he says anything, he does anything. Like, I was so proud to be a fan because he does anything. He'll say the thing that no one else says. That was when I was like in high school or middle school. I remember having a conversation with my brother, and now I look back to that and I just think, what did he hear? Like, what prompted that question, or what did he already know about Shane Dawson? Because I knew about, what was it, Shanae. I knew about Shanae. I knew like 1 or 2 clips about Shanae, or maybe like a parody or something about Shanae. And I'm like, alright, yeah, it was pretty distasteful, but we grew out of that. You know, sometimes you're just a product of your community, product of a bunch of people not telling you better, and then you step out into the world, you go to college, you get a job, you come to your senses, you learn. For him, it was the internet. Nope, for him, I thought it was the internet. It was YouTube and people telling him, whoa, don't you know that they're just people? Don't you know that this is bad? Don't you know that this is stereotypes? You can't joke like this. Your hometown might, your family might, but like, you're hurting people when you do this. I thought that that happened at some point, and he learned and grew from it. So I knew about Shanae, and then I knew what he was posting at the time, and I said, well, that's all right with me. I forgive him. But yeah, all those compilation videos all came together, and then I realized I was hearing all of these different things at different points in my life when I was a kid, and I didn't think twice of it. I was like, ha ha ha, you know, senseless joke. And then I realized, sure, I might have been like 12, 14. But I think for every single one of those jokes, I'm 26, but I think for every single one of those jokes, Shane was in his 20s. And now being in my 20s, fuck, even being 19, to put one of those things, to put one of those phrases, one of those jokes, one of those anythings in my mouth and not have my absolute skin crawl, to not absolutely go back on it. Because maybe I do say, you know, like, blah, blah, you know, like, here's a bad joke, here's a tasteful joke, and then not to backtrack and to double down. And I don't see how a grown man, I don't see how an adult makes those jokes. And then it really clicked that he made so many of those jokes in his adulthood. And it sickened me, and that's when I stopped. But then obviously it only got worse from there. What was it, Nikki Corian posted her like 3-episode deep dive on Shane Dawson. And we got to see things that he thought was, Shane Dawson thought was never coming back to the internet. And I thought I was already done being like heartbroken by someone I supported. Ended up being trash, but like seeing all of those things and just knowing he believed it. And the fact that his start literally came from just abusing children, it made me so like sick to my stomach to think that I was ever even a fan of his, to think that I even relied on his videos, because he used to post every single day, and I would look forward to that every single day after school. He's awful. I just went on a whole, I mean, I think that was this year, actually. I think that was this year that Shane, or that Nikki posted that deep dive on Shane. But where I was trying to go with that was Shia Labeouf. I really liked Shia Labeouf. I thought that he was a cool dude. I thought that he was funny. I thought that he was cool. Like, I liked Shia LaBeouf before Transformers, but I think it was him in Transformers that I was like, wow. You know what I mean? I was like, whoa. This is awesome. And then I love Linkin Park, and it was just magic. The time of those Transformer movies were magic. What are you eating? He beat his girlfriend until she had irreversible nerve damage and gave her an incurable sexually transmitted disease. You're eating the tissue. You're eating the tissue I just used to wipe my tears. It wasn't just her. Apparently there was other women that he abused. And that was just like numbing, because it wasn't like I couldn't even get fully upset for the fact that I was losing Shia LaBeouf. Instead, I just focused on FKA Twigs. You might know her song that went viral on TikTok. It was like a bit of an edit though. It was like, "Did not do it for you," and it was, I think, Miss Piggy or whatever and Kermie. That was like the edit, but like that song is actually very beautiful, and that's how I got into her music. She makes really amazing music. So to hear that she went through something so awful and so vile, and that she's dedicated so much time into taking this man down because of the awful things that he's done, that's what really hurt my heart. Ned, why can't we just relax and film? Ned from Try Guys is vile. I was a fan of Try Guys for a very long time. I still am. First of all, still am. And then Ned had his affair. And completely disrespected Ariel and himself and the show and his fans, and let so many people down with this absolute betrayal of trust and open and just readable display of disrespect towards his wife. It was nauseating. But in these 3 years, I really pictured him, because he just seemed like such a good guy. I just really pictured him in this time showing remorse, saying, hey, I fucked up, I lost everything, I lost it all, I lost the woman I loved, and I'm just gonna focus on doing my best to co-parent for my kids and move on, of course move on. You can't expect someone to stay in a place forever, even if they are the ones in the wrong, you know. But I expected him to do it respectfully and to do it remorsefully and to take accountability, and that didn't happen. So his podcast was posted, I don't know, maybe yesterday or the day before. This September 23rd. No, it's the 22nd, because the rapture happens tomorrow. This man is disgusting, because it was just this huge pity party of on this podcast that he had with his wife that he cheated on, had an affair with. Ex-wife is on the show, on the podcast with him. This person would be like, I lost the love of my life, I lost my wife, I lost my stable home, I lost this, because I regret this, I feel so remorseful, you know, all the things that you would think that would happen when you cheat on somebody, but you still love your wife. But it was just so painfully evident that this man, I don't think, loved Ariel throughout the entire affair, because I know things get complicated with emotions and stuff. It was just so painfully evident that there was no love present in this man for his wife in the final moments, time, action of their marriage. It wasn't there, because in this podcast it's just like, that made you feel that way, did it? Yeah, when I got caught, I was just, it just seemed like he got caught and he's like, dang, the jig's up. Alright. You know what I mean? No loss, no gain. He just didn't fucking care. And then just watching Ariel sit there, and I'm just like, oh yeah, she already went through this before. She went through it when the affair happened. She had to sit there and realize that not only did my husband have an affair, he doesn't love me. And it's just, he just feels unfortunate that he had to cause his wife so much pain in the process of what he really wanted to do. And I did not watch this podcast fully. I watched Charlie, I watched Most Critical, I watched him, I watched the snippets of him going over it. So I do not have to give him a view. So I do not have to give Ned a view. Disappointing. The four of them just seemed like really good people. You just never would have thought that they would do this, and that Ned would do something so vile and so wrong and then not learn from his actions and just double down on it and still be a piece of shit and still just try to benefit off of all of this and just throw this whole pity party like, I went through this and I like consequences of your actions, dude. What else we got? Oh, I have a little rant at the end for diabetes. Because there's like the whole like joke of like, they got the Big Mac meal and then they ordered a Diet Coke. Listen. Liquids go into your... Okay, let's say that there's a sugar receptor. Liquids go in like this. Okay? A fucking Big Mac goes in like this. Yeah, you get it? So, so let's say that the burger is 40 carbs. And there's a soda that's 40 carbs. Mind you, all those sodas are more than 40 carbs. There's a soda that is 40 carbs. Burger's going in like this. Soda's going in like this. So, for the next 3 hours, that burger's gonna go in, and it's gonna do this. And it's gonna go back down. And uh-oh, it's time for dinner now. I had a burger for lunch, it's time for dinner now. I'm gonna eat another burger. And we're gonna go like this. Juice, soda, whatever you wanna call it, is gonna go like this. And then it's not going to be 3 hours later. It's going to be within the same 30 minutes, maybe the hour. It's going to go right back down. And notice how it doesn't come back here? It goes down this way. Highs are dangerous for us. Lows are dangerous for us. So just because a diabetic comes through your drive-thru, bitch, and orders a Diet Coke with their fucking spicy McChicken meal, you motherfucker, they are still being very much aware of their glucose levels. There's not many type 2 diabetics that can get away with drinking a soda this big that is not diet and not having the worst symptoms. Diabetes does not mean you can't have sugar. Diabetes does not mean you can't have sugar. My God. A drop. Diabetes means that you can't process sugar. It means your body can't process sugar correctly, okay? So that means highs, that means lows. So sometimes a diabetic is going to literally need a donut or something to keep them from dropping too low. So you finding out that someone is diabetic and then being like, oh, I just make cookies, I don't know if you can have one. And you're right, they might not be able to have one right then and there, but like they could take it home and then like check their sugars and then eat it when they can. You know what I'm fucking saying? Like, that's just like my mini rant. And that has nothing to do with 2025. It has a little bit. Like, get a clue, guys. But like, if someone's ordering a Diet Coke with their Big Mac meal in the drive-thru and you're like, oh, we're out of Diet Coke, oh, just give them a Coke, you're going to send someone to the hospital, or at least give someone a very, very bad night. Just give them what they ordered. If you don't have them, offer them water. I swear to God, they might just take it because they can't drink all that sugar. They just can't. Most can't. I can't speak for everybody because everybody's pancreas is a little bit different when you have type 2, but they just can't drink all of that. You know, when I rescued Prisma here, I thought, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll raise her to be a therapy dog. Like, nothing official. But, you know, someone who could, like, maybe pick up my pill bottles when I'm freaking out and my motor skills are, you know, failing me and stuff. She's a fucking nutcase. The way that she would down all of my pills and lick me like so and leave me dying on the floor and then get into the trash and not even give a fuck that I'm dead on the floor. This dog will never ever be a serious animal. But I will tell you, she makes my days a whole lot brighter. She's kicking the ring light. Alright, that's it. It's been like 30 minutes of me just sitting here ranting and being sad. So, what did my therapist say? I'm not sad. I'm just feeling sad right now. I'm not anxious. I'm not an anxious person. I'm just feeling anxious right now.